Welcome to Close the Door and Come Here, a Song of Ice and Fire podcast with heavy leanings towards our two favorite characters, Jaime and Brienne. Hi, I'm Clotho at Clotho Spindle on Blue Sky Social, and today I'm joined with Guile.
Hey, I'm Guile, and you can find me at Guile and Subterfuge on Blue Sky.
We're going to be discussing the chapter The Watcher from A Dance with Dragons. All our usual trigger warnings for any discussions that include rape and violence. This chapter, it's from Areo I's point of view, the captain of the household guard for Prince Doran. So, a council is being held at Sunspear. Arian's sitting on the dice between Doran and Ellaria, and this master, I think is it Calote or Calote? Calot? Calot? I don't know, it's French. Calais? Calais?
Hello.
Calais takes a chest from Sir Balin Swan and sets the box on the floor beside Prince Doran's chair. And they open it up to reveal this apparently huge skull that is supposed to be Gregor Clegane's the Mountain's skull. And he tells there's this like funny little scene here where he tells the Meister to place it on a black marble pedestal, and he says the mountain rides no more. And is it Obara or who? Somebody comes up and helps him put it up because he can't reach the top of the pedestal.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
I don't know if it's Obara,
that's
but it's pretty tall. I was like so frustrated that she's just like, okay, and puts it right up on the stuff.
Well, definitely. I mean, we know Ariane is short, so not her. So yeah, it probably is Obara with her personality being a little rough.
and so Sir Balin tells them when they ask, like, that he screamed for days as he died from the poison. And there's kind of like this little back and forth about like, because they're happy to hear that, and he's like, well, he looks pretty not thrilled with that, and he's like, I think it's kind of like he views it as not like honorable to have to die with poison. That should be quick death kind of thing. And but and he's like, Doran's like, if ever a man deserved to die screaming, it's Gregor, which truly, like, he deserved all that and then some. And then, so they drink and they're giving a toast to King Tommen. Hota's paying extra attention to those who aren't drinking and aren't toasting. And, he's basically thinking Doran's an angry and divided land. And many of the lords and the stand snakes like thought, the Doran's weak. And they probably would probably welcome having a war against the Iron Throne. So kind of you can see the two sides here, and
the lack of self-control here, though, like really dumbasses, just drink the effing toast. Like, are you kidding me? Oh, I can't toast. No, like really, crybabies. Like, you're gonna sell yourself out by like proving you're not gonna toast. The idiots.
Which also, yeah, that's true, because then further down the line when we get to things, it kind of brings up a good point about, well, if they can't do, how could they even one of them be on the council if they can't even do a fake toast,
Yeah.
That's not gonna fly. So this goes well into the night, they said. And close to midnight, Doran asks Sir Balin, like, if he's aware that the Queen has sent a letter, with them down, and asking him to escort Marcella and Tristane back to King's Landing. And Hota notices that Balin's sweating, and he's thinking it's not particularly hot in here. He didn't have any of that. I think he hadn't touched his soup or something. So he's like, okay, this is a little suspicious. And Doran suggests they travel by sea. And then it gets even a little more suspicious because Sir Balin's like, oh, kind of like, looks like that's too dangerous. He's just, just kind of balking at this. He's like, nah, we're going to go by land.
And we should probably, let's go back to what we know about, Sir Balin too, because like when Jaime did the interviews of all of the, like Sir Balin was, I mean, basically he was the best of the remaining Kingsguard other than Loras, and like the one that had the most integrity. And like, I mean, I feel like this is again like a stupid move by Cersei in sending him. Like, you sent the person that is too honorable to like effectively lie.
Oh, right.
And,
Oh,
like, you
shit,
should have sent one
yeah.
of your stupid kettle blacks. They would have been great for some shit
Yeah,
like
I
this, you
forgot
know?
about that. I forgot if he was a good one or a bad one, and I
Yeah, like,
didn't
he's
that's good.
definitely a good one.
Okay, so that's why. Okay, so that's why he's yeah, because
Yeah,
obviously
like,
if he coulda lied like it was nothing if he didn't
right.
care.
Like, yeah, he's a good one and, yeah, not the right person for this job, but, you
Yeah.
know, Cersei, is not good at this.
So, Doran kinda suggests, "Okay, well, let's talk about this more." He kind of, like, lets that kinda lie and says, "Let's talk about it more tomorrow," when they meet with Myrcella, and the plan is to meet, in the Water Gardens, I believe, and, um then Doran kind of asks, like, as people are leaving, he asks his daughter and the sand snakes to his solar, and once inside, kinda like everything erupts, like they're arguing about the plan and what's gonna happen, and, um, Obara points out that they have no way of knowing if the skull's even Clegane's, and they're kind of talking about, like, well, this they're going into more who need to take revenge, who they need to kill, and who they take revenge. And Ellaria kind of like just in her own way goes off on them quietly, I guess, and is like, how many more people need to die? Which is kind of refreshing to hear because a lot of times you don't really hear this perspective because people. She's like, because when will you be satisfied? Like, where does it end with each? Like, it's like each death then comes like, okay, then
The
we kill
people that
them, and
have
they
to
like what?
avenge that
Yeah,
person and yeah.
it's and she's right, and they point out that she talks about how her daughter, what is one is 12 and one is 14. I mean, she's concerned about them, like, that this is the world they have to, like, inherit and grow up in, and obviously but she feels like, "Okay, we have this, let's just accept this, and, like, can we just move on?" Is her point of view. Um and, I thought she was a pretty moving speech there, and the sand snakes are not, not hearing any of that, basically. It's kind of falling on deaf ears, and,
They're
she says
so rude to Doran too. Like,
I
I'd be
know,
like,
they are.
"Girls, get the," "No, you're
Especially since because it's like he thinks there's, like, could have kept you in the towers,
right."
or just like, yeah, they are pretty. It's um, because so after she says goodnight to Prince Doran, Arianne then says that Myrcella is going to tell Balin that Gerald Dane, the Darkstar, killed Eris and tried to kill Myrcella, like, which left her without the ear, which we all know. And then, so she's kind of saying this, or like the Sand Snakes are like, they everybody knows what happened. They're like, yeah, but we're saying that Myrcella is going to say this, but how? I think one thing they bring up, the Sand Snakes are like, how are we? Like, we might have to kill the entire party because how the hell can we keep this secret? Because how? Because that's what I'm wondering too. Like,
Like,
how long do they think
eventually she's
Myrcella's
gonna
gonna?
tell someone the truth.
Right, right. I mean, even that's a lot for a kid because is she like 12 or something? I don't know. She's little,
Yeah,
right? How could she keep that? It's just, oh gosh. She's very scared right now, so she could probably,
yeah.
lie now, but that's a lot of pressure. Um, they don't seem as concerned with her feelings, but it seems like that would be an issue, like that she might not be able just whether she wants to or not.
Mhm.
Um, especially with Cersei. Jesus Christ, like Cersei could get anything out of anybody, but she messed with them enough, messed with her head. Um, so Doran tells them that, he's like, I know you think I'm feeble and weak, but he's describing how they work very closely. Like he describes he's like, he's the grass, like he's kind of the steady grass and the calm, and like Oberyn was the snake in the grass who would strike for him. They kind of had this relationship where they worked together, and that Oberyn knew him better and trusted him, and he's like telling them like, I love you, but I don't trust you. And it comes to the point where he's like, "Can you swear upon your father's grave?" Which initially they get upset at, but like he's like, what is your options here?" It's like you have to swear this you're gonna do as my command. And they do swear. So but again, they aren't happy about it. Um he shares with them that friends at the court in King's Landing have warned him that Cersei has sent Swan, and it's all a plot to kill Trystane on the way back. And it sounds like they even intended him to go back to be on the council, like Doran, and that they wanted
Yeah.
to even get him to be, like, shocked and surprised, like, that he would, see this as, like, an attack and not them doing it, and blame it on Tyrion was the plan. So that was, and initially, like, the Sand Snakes are like, which is kind of funny. I was like, "Why are they shocked? All this horrible stuff happening." But they're like, "That would be too much." Like, them killing a child, and, like, they insist that, like, a Kingsguard knight would never do that, and, like, but he's, like, basically reminding them that, like, Swan didn't wanna take the ship instead. That, like, it's just, he's basically pointing out how he was acting, when they told him,
But,
suggested the ship.
do you believe this? Because 'Cause I'm not sure. I don't believe that Doran isn't just making this up.
Oh, do you think he's making it up? Okay,
I
so
don't know,
Doran.
because I just feel like, what in the world, like, I know Cersei makes dumb decisions, but, like,
Yeah, why would they
what
blame
is
I was kinda confused about the imp, like, why would they
well,
blame it on him or
why would they kill Trystane and invite, like, shit with Dorne? Like, what does Cersei gain by provoking Dorne? Like, if she just wants to get Marcella back, like,
she could
she
just get her
doesn't
back.
need to, yeah, she could just get her back. Like, that's what, but, like, killing Trystane, I don't see what is in it for her.
Yeah, I didn't think okay, so this could be
So, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
maybe, again, like, she, is dumb, but
But
and
then
I
again,
was
why
trying to
would he
think,
do
like,
that? Why would Swan do this though? 'Cause
yeah.
unless do you think this he like, Swan didn't know? I mean, unless she was planning I don't know.
Yeah,
Think of
I
it this
mean,
way,
he
yeah,
could have
he didn't know.
literally been sweating, like he
Yeah,
says, he was sweating because the food was hot and too
yeah.
spicy for him, and maybe he gets seasick, like,
Who
there
knows,
literally
right?
could be, like, but yeah, I just because, like, who would have been the at this point in time, is Kevin the Hand yet? Like, in the
Shoot, is he? Oh,
he
he
might
would be
be,
'cause it's Tommen. Yeah, 'cause it's Tommen. If Tommen's in
and
Kevin's by the hand.
well, because, like, there's the sick guy whose hand, but then after Cersei's
Yeah, the
walk.
guy coughed all the time.
Which wasn't, so with this being part of, like, the feast timeline, if Kevin is the hand by now, there's no way Kevin's doing this. Like, that would make no sense.
I mean, would it be that Cersei just didn't want is the assumption that Cersei wouldn't want them to marry, that Trystane to marry, but there's other ways I feel like there's still other
Right.
ways that
Right. And,
it's
like,
crazy,
Cersei,
but
and, like, the Kingsguard is not going to be taking orders from Cersei.
and then it's like they've also risked setting him down because exactly what happens after he tells them this, because if this was real, the first thing the Sand Snakes wanna do is just kill them all. Like, they wanna kill
Yeah.
like, let's kill them all, and so he has to stop them from doing that because they just wanted to murder them outright, so
Yeah,
that
so
was
I
really
don't really
sad.
understand what the point,
Yeah.
like, I don't understand why Cersei or Kevin would do this if it's true, but I
Right.
also don't understand why Doran would be telling them this if it's not, except maybe to make himself sound like more important and like a mastermind than he is. Like, I don't, because
Would
it's
there
like he doesn't need to like provoke the sand snakes. They're already like
right.
highly provocable.
Huh.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
I don't
interesting.
know. I don't, this doesn't make sense to me.
Do you think there's any way that 'cause seriously, she couldn't have plotted this on her own, right? Because then it would still she'd still have to get other people yeah, I don't
Well,
think
like,
she could
why
have
would
plotted
Bale
it
and
on
Swan go with it though?
right,
Like,
right, right, right.
oh,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
unless
yeah.
I guess there, well, I guess the thing is, like, Doran thinks this because someone, like, friends at court told him.
Oh, do you think it's like, is
So,
he still there? Is fucking Varys do you think Varys could have tried to stir this
well, but
too? Or is he there?
Varys is in kind of
Oh,
cahoots with him, but,
oh,
Littlefinger, like,
oh,
Littlefinger's not
yeah.
there, but he obviously is in touch with court, and
So somebody
him
feeds this
telling this to Doran
oh.
would certainly provoke, like, the chaos that he's looking for. So
Oh.
maybe it's like a little finger like lie that he's spreading, because that honestly is
Oh,
like the only thing that makes sense to me, because it doesn't
right.
serve anyone,
'Cause then if the Sand Snakes killed the whole party, then Cersei would go, and go batshit
and
and
it's
let
all
yeah, yeah.
chaos and like things
Right,
are falling
right,
apart.
right.
Although, to your point though, to your earlier point about Varys, I sort of forget that Varys, it probably is Varys, because Varys kills Kevin because Kevin's being too
Oh,
competent
shit.
and things are
Forgot
too
about
stable. So maybe this is another Varys plot to like destabilize,
God,
because
how could you
he's
trust
not
anybody?
yet, like, he's part of the Egan faction, and like the Egan faction isn't, like, they're not connecting up with
Oh.
Dorne until the start of Winds of Winter. So
Oh,
yeah, it
shit,
probably is
yeah.
Varys spreading some, although Varys isn't there anymore. Like,
Right.
Varys is in the east. So
Oh.
I don't know. I think it's Varys or Littlefinger starting some shit.
Oh gosh, and there's no way to
I think
tell, like,
we
who to
figured it out.
trust. And it's funny funny. Who the hell do we think like that would be the interesting part if we ever know who Doran, whose friends he thinks he's talking to. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
like,
Like
who
who
are
his
these
friends are.
friends that yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh man. So so he
Whew.
stops he stops them from murdering them and he cautions them. Like we still need to like we still want Marcella to share the story and ask Swan to hunt down the Dark Star because that's part of his plan now in reaction to this. And it will be interesting too, like if that person also fed him any suggestions. Like if that person was just like, "Oh, you might want to do this," or if he just came up
Mhm.
concocted this because he said he wants Obara to take Swan to the High Hermitage to take care of the Dark Star, and then Marcella, like he's like she's just gonna go home to her mother. I don't think it's as simple as that. But here's what I don't understand too. Like he thinks like Nymeria is going to go sit on the council instead of him. So I didn't know how that would really play out. That's what he was saying, and that like also that Tyene, they mentioned that her mother was a septa, and that she should attempt to get close by I guess pretending to be a septa and get close to the high septum. I don't know how plausible that all. It sounds a little like it's a little unrealistic. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like, the Nymeria part, that makes sense because, like, I
Okay,
think they were originally expecting
but
when
him to go
Oberyn came to sit on the council, they were
right. Okay.
expecting it to be Doran, so, like, okay, they sent someone else.
Okay. So they still wanted to try to get Doran up there. I wonder if they try to get up there to kill him too, though. I don't know. But yeah. So that was that's the whole. And then after the sisters leave, that they kind of agree to that, and um, Ariane lingers after they leave, and Doran tells her like stay by my side. You're you're my heir. He's trying to like say we're gonna make this work, and they briefly wonder where Quentin is, which is is Quentin still alive at this point, or is he dead?
I think so.
Alive.
I
Okay,
think
he's
he's
still alive.
still
Okay.
alive because Danny hasn't thought about him at
Oh
all. I
right.
mean, he
Okay. Oh right, because we had the chapters where he was still going over there. I remember those with
yeah.
friends and stuff. Okay. Yeah, so it's kind of sad. They're thinking about Quentin, and yeah, they finally say their final goodnight, and that's the end of that chapter. But I don't well wait, okay, there's a little bit more here. I have a little quote here. I just easier to read it, but he said later when Arion had gone, he put down his long axe and lifted Prince Doran into his bed. This is Hota. And until the mountain crushed my brother's skull, no Dornishmen had died in this war of the Five Kings. Prince murmured softly as Hota pulled a blanket over him. He said, "Tell me, Captain, is that my shame or my glory?" And Hota responds, "That is not for me to say, my prince. Serve, protect, obey. Simple vows for simple men." That was all he knew. And then that's the end of the chapter. Oh, man.
I you know I I go back to that the last Quentin chapter I read and just like how mad at Doran I was for like actively putting his son
Mm.
into this terrible situation for revenge essentially. Like it's like giving your own child a terrible PTSD to to have some convoluted revenge against the
Mhm.
Lannisters who are not even the ones who you're mad at aren't even alive anymore.
Like, yeah, it's almost like they could have just bided their time. Like, it's almost like he just created more death by just, like, if it,
Or
it
just
sucked, but they could
be
have just let him
happy,
kill.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like they have the option to just be happy.
Because they're
And
somewhat sort of insulated from a lot of the stuff going
yeah,
on up there.
right. And
Right?
they his if they would have just not done this, Oberyn would be alive. There, like his
Oh, right.
Quentin would
Yeah.
be alive.
God.
Like your shame is that they're dead too. I don't I think
Mhm.
their shame is that yeah, they why are you trying like what I mean, I think a lot of the theories are like Nymeria is gonna poison Tommen. Well, that is pretty fucking
Aw.
shameful to
Aw.
poison the grandson of the person that you're mad at, like how many years later after he's already dead? Like, what are you trying to prove?
And it's so hypocritical because then they're like, "Oh, they're so shocked that Bal and Swan might wanna kill a kid, but then they're gonna kill a kid? That's
Right.
terrible." Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like it's just so
And
we did have
Tommen!
one
Oh my god. Sorry.
I know, and like our sweet kitten came and you're gonna kill
God.
that kid? Like you assholes. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have one question from Buck O'Hare, and it's maybe my favorite question in a long time. It's very to the point. Do you care about Doran's scheme? No. Honestly, no.
Oh gosh.
Like, I don't
Oh.
care at all about it, and I also feel like in between writing Arian's point of view chapters and this chapter, he completely stripped her of all personality.
Oh, yeah, because that's true. She
Now
did seem
she's like
different.
dutiful, caregiving daughter, and like
Oh,
there's like she's completely defanged, and it's like, oh man, yeah, this is just the like objectively, it's not like it's that horrible of a chapter, but it
yeah.
is like, ugh,
I know, and the only highlight was that little bit Ellaria. That was, like, a little
right,
bit of reason,
like,
but, that could've
yeah,
been said the other
like
chapter.
that's the person who, and it's like the neck, in those win sample chapters of Ariane's, like Elia is the one that stuck with Ariane. So like there it is. Like her oldest daughter is fucking knees deep in this bullshit,
Yeah.
Exactly what she didn't want. And yeah, I
Oh
just think,
gosh.
I mean, enjoy some good revenge and spite, but like, you know, you gotta give it up at some point for like, if it's going to objectively make your children's lives that much worse, like, just
And like he was saying, like, if you haven't lost any Dornishmen, I mean, that's a pretty compared to the rest of Westeros,
right,
you're doing
like
pretty
keep
damn
it that
good.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these people have had significant casualties, like, oh my god.
And like
That's
you're,
amazing.
happy, like Doran doesn't have a lot of time left, obviously.
Mm,
And you lost your brother and sister to violence. You sent your son off to some unknown fate. Like, you know, cut your losses, man.
oh gosh.
Yeah. He is a frustrating character for me.
And it's like, I mean, it's like and it comes back to, like, how many of these, like I don't know, he has a lot of these, like, just the name ca these extra added chapters, like, and sometimes you do wonder, like, why were they I
Yeah,
guess
like,
we get a
do
little bit,
we
but
well, and I
you
mean,
could've been mentioned
actually
just another one.
well, and for this one especially, I do kind of wonder from the perspective of, like, the way that George normally tells a story, which is that I feel like we would normally all of a sudden see Nymeria and Tyene, or we wouldn't know exactly
Right,
who they were in,
right.
like, another point of view chapter, and then we'd figure it out later.
Oh,
So
and it
it's
might be
sort of
more interesting.
weird for him to, like, spell out exactly what's gonna happen ahead of time, just because that's
Right.
not normally how he's written things.
Oh, so I wonder why he did it. I'm really
Yeah, I wonder
curious
why,
why he did
yeah,
this. Because the shit's gonna hit the I don't know,
like,
but yeah.
made it
Yeah.
super obvious for the reader, and yeah,
Right.
instead of, like, telling us what's gonna happen instead of showing us what has happened.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
this is definitely one that, like, this, past editor, like, you coulda cut this chapter and we would've lost nothing.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I think that seems to be consensus on this.
Yeah.
You could reach us at closethedoorend@gmail.com, on Tumblr at closethedoor, and come here at tumblr.com. Submit questions to the chapter threads in the Jamie and Brienne subreddit, and follow us on Blue Sky at closethedoorend.bluesky.social. And please like, review, subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and wherever you listen. And support us on Patreon at Close the Door. I'm closing the door. Get out.